explainer and crack the code on everyday social interactions. Have you ever noticed how some people just effortlessly talk to anyone while the rest of us are left scrambling for the right words? Well, today we are breaking down the hidden structure behind those completely seamless chats to help you become a totally confident conversationalist. We have absolutely all been there. You say hello, they say hello, and then just crickets. That deafening, awkward silence. But as we'll see in the source material today, conversation isn't just about swapping facts or impatiently waiting for your turn to speak. It's a literal art form. And the best part? It's an art form with clear patterns that anyone can learn.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. First, the art of conversation, followed by greetings and introductions. Then we'll hit mastering small talk, navigating invitations, and finally, the graceful exit. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the art of conversation, which is about so much more than just information. You know, we often treat talking like it's just a utility, like we're a Wi-Fi router transmitting data from point A to point B. But our source material highlights a massive mindset shift. Being a great conversationalist is actually about creating a connection. Sharing thoughts on totally mundane, everyday events isn't pointless chatter. It's a huge source of pleasure and human satisfaction. It's about building a bridge with someone rather than just delivering a package of words. Moving right along to Section 2, greetings and introductions. This is all about breaking the ice. It's absolutely fascinating how something as universal as saying hello is actually incredibly layered. A simple greeting completely morphs based on two major things: your current emotional state and exactly how close you are to the person you're talking to. Think about it. You don't greet your best friend the exact same way you'd greet a bank teller, right? The tone, the volume, and the actual words are totally custom-tailored to the relationship. Just think about the sheer contrast in how we approach different people. Take a formal tone like, "How do you do, Mr. Metha?" It's classic, it's a bit stiff, and it's highly respectful, perfect for a neighbor you only see in passing. But contrast that with an effusive, "Hi, why, what's the matter?" That instantly signals a deep level of intimacy. The speaker picks up on an emotional shift and immediately dives in. It throws the door wide open for a real conversation, while the formal option is really just a polite nod. When we're introducing ourselves, informal speech leans heavily on half sentences. Instead of a robotic, highly formal, "I am Mr. Smith," we naturally use contractions like "I'm," or casual probes like "Have we met before?" This is crucial because when we're face-to-face, so much of what we're saying is actually carried by our facial expressions and body language. We rely on these quick, contracted phrases to establish who's who without sounding like we're reading from a script. All right, on to Section 3, mastering small talk, and how to keep that conversational flow going. So why are we always talking about the weather? The British are practically legendary for it, but there's actually a brilliant psychological reason behind it. The weather is a shared, constantly changing, and 100% neutral topic. There's basically zero danger of getting too personal or offending someone with a spicy take on a passing cloud. It's the ultimate shared knowledge that safely gets the ball rolling. But once you've got that ball rolling, how do you actually keep it moving? Enter the concept of turn-taking. This is simply the process where one person adds information directly in response to what the other person just said. It means that to avoid being a total bore or that person who just talks at people, you have to practice hyperactive listening. If your mind wanders, the flow just instantly collapses. Let's look at a really cool example from the text involving a chat about fruit. It starts super simple: fresh guavas from our orchard. The other person responds directly to the guavas, noting they are just ripe. The first speaker agrees, adding, "Not too raw nor too ripe." And then, here's the magic. The next response triggers a memory. Reminds me of the village. Do you see how each little comment links perfectly to the next, almost like a chain? By actively listening, a tiny comment about fruit effortlessly morphs into this rich, shared, nostalgic memory. This amazing natural back and forth relies on what linguists call the cooperative principle. Basically, it's an unspoken pact between two people that they share the responsibility to keep things agreeable. You're actively hunting for common ground. And hey, even if you disagree, the art of polite debate lets you point out weaknesses in an argument while still making sure the whole vibe stays pleasant and respectful. Which brings us to Section 4, navigating invitations. How we welcome others and respond when they welcome us. Social rules are so interesting, especially when we accidentally break them. For instance, we all know it's generally a bad move to just barge into someone's house unannounced. If you do happen to drop in out of nowhere, etiquette demands you apologize immediately.
But here's where that cooperative principle kicks in for the host. A truly gracious host will usually override your apology with a massive warm welcome, putting you totally at ease despite the social faux pas.
Now, when invitations are formally extended, you need the right tools in your toolkit to respond. Accepting is usually a breeze. A simple, "I should be delighted," works wonders. But declining? That is an art form. You can't just bluntly say no. You have to soften the blow with an apology and a brief, polite reason. Something like, "I'm sorry, my aunt hasn't been keeping too well." Giving that little bit of context maintains the warmth of the relationship, even when you have to pass on the invite. Finally, Section 5, the graceful exit. Taking your leave without making it weird.
Here is a cardinal rule of social interaction. Absolutely never end a conversation abruptly. Just like we use small talk about the weather to slowly warm things up, the principles of politeness demands we cool things down gradually before we part ways. You can't just turn on your heel and walk away. Doing that instantly signals anger or a total lack of respect. To avoid that, there's a simple, foolproof 3-step procedure for leaving without offending anyone. Step 1, signal the exit. You drop a subtle hint, like, "Well, I'm in a bit of a hurry." Step 2, state your action explicitly. "I think I should leave now." And step 3, exchange those final pleasantries, like "Thanks for having me" or "Thanks for coming." Sticking to this rhythm makes sure both of you feel respected and the connection you just built stays completely intact. So as you go out into the world today, I really want you to start paying attention to these patterns. Listen for that turn-taking in your own friend groups. Watch how people subtly signal when they're ready to leave a room. The entire architecture of human connection is playing out all around you every single day. The next time you find yourself staring down an awkward silence, just remember, you've